Space Race and Arms Race by Pete Griffith and
Lorenzo Lucchese.
Sputnik 1 was sent off by the Soviet Union on October 4th, 1957. It was the first satellite that was ever put into space. As a response to the Soviet Sputnik 1, the U.S. created Explorer 1. On January 31st, 1958, it was launched into space. Since 1959, the U.S. was developing a series of reconnaissance codenamed Corona. They disguised Corona by making it part of the program called Discover. On April 12, 1961, the Russians put Yuri Gagarin into space. This was the first man ever put into orbit. On 1969, the Americas were now far ahead of the Soviets when they put Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin on the moon. In 1973, President Richard Nixon's advisory group came up with the idea of creating Skylab, which could be used to conduct scientific experiments on board while allowing humans to live in space for extended periods of time. In July 1975, Apollo-Soyuz was embarked. This marked a temporary halt in the Cold War when the U.S. and Soviet Union embarked on their first joint space adventure. The beginning of the arms race started with the atomic bomb. In 1945, the U.S. successfully tested the first atom bomb. On August 29, 1949, the Soviets also developed the atom bomb. The Soviets' development of the atom bomb now leveled them in atomic superiority to the U.S. By 1950, the U.S. had 369 operational atom bombs. The USSR had 5. On January 31, 1950, President Truman announced that the U.S. will develop the thermonuclear bomb, which is 1,000 times more powerful than the atom bomb. NPT, also known as the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, was when the U.S., USSR, France, UK, and China were named the 5 nuclear weapon states. All other countries are prohibited from manufacturing nuclear explosives. The Strategic Arms and Limitation Talks, also known as SALT I, produced an idea among both superpowers that continue the arms race would make them insecure. Also, the U.S. recognized Russia's atomic superiority to them and the idea that remaining defenseless of a nuclear attack was the best way to prevent one. ABM, also known as the Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty, was created in 1972. This was used to limit anti-ballistic missile systems used in defending against missile-delivered nuclear weapons. SALT II was created from 1972 to 1977 when Jimmy Carter and Leonid Brezhnev sought to refrain from manufacturing strategic nuclear weapons. It was a continuation of SALT I. Thank you, and we hope you enjoyed listening to the space race and arms race throughout the Cold War.